for me, everything sources from the idea. So, a lot of times before I even start making anything or put, brush to paper, pen to paper, or brush to canvas, whatever you want to call it, it really comes down to like the why. I'm Josh Hash, I'm 30 years old, I'm a painter here in Los Angeles. Today we're at my studio in Studio City, California, where I'm working on a series of postcard paintings. This series that I've been working on is made out of postcards. It's called Reliquary Meme. It's actually a really kind of fun series that I started in quarantine when we were all kind of isolated from each other. And so I started looking at, one, ways to move away from canvas because we were all working in our apartments and have a lot of room to do that. And two, I think there was so much dialogue around like the identity politic and thinking about like authorship and what the artist's role is in the artwork that they make. Yeah, so it actually like found me by accident. I was initially really interested in film in high school, and from that, storytelling, and was also just kind of at a moment, I think like a lot of teenagers are, feeling a little lost, a little angsty, and not really sure what the next chapter of my life was going to be. But went to college, actually got a scholarship for a program at SFAI, which is no longer around, but I was able to go to San Francisco to study art, and had gone really not knowing too much about what fine art was or what the gallery scene even meant, and slowly but surely kind of like unpacked that whole lexicon and thought it was actually a really great way to start articulating my life experiences and kind of my interpersonal thoughts. And I was just kind of hooked. So I just started spending more and more time in the studio and thinking about kind of what my aesthetic style is and what expression looks like through medium. Art is all about articulating things that are hard to like put language to. So I think being able to pull medium and empathize with materials is something that like human beings do kind of every day, but I feel as an artist, you're just doing it more consciously. And with that kind of focus, I think comes clarity. And I think that that's what it brings my life. That's why I keep doing it. So I wanted something that was a little bit more local to Los Angeles, not something that was as kind of Eurocentric or anything like that. And so thinking about postcards as these kind of memorabilia type objects, from my local landscape where I grew up, just kind of hit. And being in quarantine, thinking about the sentiment that we were sharing for each other while not being able to connect, made these letters just really like poignant in terms of like source material. I think for me, I've spent a lot of time thinking about like, where does art go? And ultimately, if you're not selling to a museum, I think the great majority of us have it in our houses, and it becomes something that just kind of complements daily life. And so I've been trying to spend a lot of time over the last year thinking about ways to branch my lexicon of like aesthetics and artistic production to really like service the home and like the lifestyle brand, so to speak, almost like a container for making artworks. And so the ashtrays are actually kind of a memento of like my friend who actually in college had given me a similar ashtray. It was made out of a dental mold that he had done, and I loved it so much. I had used it for like 10 years, coming back from school, and I still have it at my house, like next to my TV area and stuff. So it just was something that resonated with me. And recently I was curating a show for SFAI artists and had come to find out that my former roommate had actually passed away. And so kind of in tribute to him, I wanted to kind of resurrect this design and kind of celebrate it in a way that was meaningful, because this piece had been so meaningful to my life. For me, I always like to make sure that, art is serving me as an artist first, and then allowing others to kind of like enter into that conversation. Because if I'm not having a genuine conversation with myself, then I'm really not having it with anyone. You can always find me studiohash.art. That's my website. Also at jhash93 is my personal handle on IG. Sign up for our newsletter. Come by to monthly art walks, second Saturday every month. We'll go check out some galleries and talk shop. So if you're around, if you're in LA, come through.